Alright, it's retro computing time. What you're looking at is a Mac 512K. The 512K means half a megabyte of RAM, 512 kilobytes. This is the older brother of the Mac 128K, which is exactly the same, except it has 128K of RAM. This thing ran from 1984 to 1986, and back then it cost a whopping $2,800, give or take a couple dollars. For inboard storage, all it has is this floppy drive here. This is a 400K, and that's all you got, folks. So if you wanted to run an operating system and run programs, well, you have to constantly put in OS, take out this, swap floppies, put in something else, and so on and so forth. This thing came with the option of an external 20 megabyte hard disk, and also an external higher capacity drive, which let you use 800 kilobyte floppies. So people who are familiar with this model, and old Macs in general, will note something. No mouse. Old Macs love to have their mice, and modern Macs too. You can see that even without an operating system, it still has a mouse cursor. So a mouse is integral to this device. You can't use a Mac 512K without a mouse. It's just impossible. The other problem with this thing being that it's so old, it's not very reliable. So if I turn it off and turn it on again, well, we're being lucky this time, but usually it won't boot up. Oh, it's happy now for some reason, but anyways. So there's that problem, and also the floppy drive, it tends to eat floppies, and I've never got it to read my system disk that I have. So that needs to be re-lubricated and kind of overhauled a little bit. So I'm going to tear this thing apart, carefully of course, unlike photonic induction, who kind of lies when he says he's taking things apart carefully, but we all love him for it. Now of course I could just go on eBay and then buy a mouse for this thing, but they're kind of, well, they're $30, which is not expensive, but it's more than I want to spend on this right now, just because I don't even know if it's going to work. So I'd really rather use a modern mouse, you know, with the USB at the end. So in part 2 of this video, I'm going to go through my design process of how I actually build a little adapter that will allow me to use any USB mouse with this thing. Should be fun. There we go. Oof. Easy does it. There we go. There's the guts. Well, first thing, you should really discharge the CRT before reaching in there and messing with things, but you know what? There we go. Nothing interesting in here. Just all the signatures of all the designers and developers. Cool, huh? I wish modern designers took as much pride in their products, but I guess they don't. I believe this was before Steve Jobs, so you won't find them in here. Anyways. So let's start from the back. See? It's cool how they've labeled all this stuff so you can adjust, you know, various parameters of your CRT from the safety of this isolated, well, semi-isolated paper shield here. That's the grill for the speaker. It's back there. So back here you've got your power connector, you know, various chokes and things. You got your fuse, bunch of plastic caps that look to have little spider cracks on them. Let's see if I can focus that. See those little cracks? I don't know if that means it's bad or good, but all of these types of capacitors seem to have that effect. Going further up, I see two neon lights. I'm not sure what those would be for. It might just be for indication, just to tell you that the system is energized, or it could be some sort of high voltage protection. I am not sure. Over here we've got the settings backup battery, like your modern computer would have a little CMOS battery. This thing looks like a AA, but it's not. It's lithium, I believe, and it's 4.5 volts. See if you can see that there. But these are hard to come by because apparently they don't even make them anymore. But there you go. And here you got your flyback and various other things. Controls for the coils, deflection coils, all that kind of stuff. And then underneath you've got your main CPU board, power supply connector, and the floppy disk drive, which I'm going to have to take apart. So let's figure out how to remove that. Doesn't look too difficult. Unplug the power. I think this thing just slides out. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's coming. Well, not quite. We've got another little, what looks to be a ROM chip or something. Looks like there's stuff actually in the way, so I think I'm going to have to revise my strategy. Let me consult the interwebs. Well, I was looking at the official Mac disassembly guide on how to take this thing apart, but it just says to pull it right out. But there's things in the way. What the heck? Let's see if I can't pry just a little bit. See if that even comes off. I think I'm just going to take the easy way out. Just pull up these and just pull the board right out. Alright, I'm sure all the Mac fanatics are going to hate me for this, but I don't see any other way right now, so just pull up on this. I'm sorry, am I being an idiot or what? There's this little module here that would hit this little lip right here, but I can't even pull it straight up because there's this thing in the way. It seems to be in a socket because I can move it up and down, but I don't know, this is bizarre. There's a second board in here. What the heck? Well, after a lot of swearing and various off-camera antics, managed to release it from its prison. So here's the main board. Here's a stupid add-on thing. I don't actually know what this... Oh, you know what? Could this... Well, we'll have to take a look at it. Well, the underside of the thing isn't very interesting. So let's set this aside. Now this is fascinating because I think this might be a RAM expansion board. That says copyright Calmos, C-A-L-M-O-S semiconductor CD101D1-3. And I can't find anything about this online. I suppose I'm not searching hard enough. But it looks like this is an additional 68K M68K processor from Motorola. And I see a lot of Sims here. Looks way more than 512K, that's for sure. And I can't see the Apple logo on this anywhere. So I'm pretty sure that this is a memory expansion module. Interesting. Let's see what else we can find. What's this stupid thing? It's getting in my way. It's just a bunch of resistors. How annoying. Do I need this? Alright. Has a broken pin in there. I'm pretty sure I didn't break it. It's chewed off at the top as well. So I guess, yeah, I didn't break this. This is interesting. See the pin missing there? Well, it's stuck in there, and there's a pin that's been cut right there. Huh. Interesting. Well, let's see if there's any way of removing this thing. Oh, I see what's going on here. If you look way down there, you'll see a socket. Suspiciously the size of an M68K. So I bet this kind of replaces the CPU. Let's see if I can carefully... It's a lot of pins. That is a lot of pins. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. I don't want to hurt it. Oh yeah, that's coming. Easy does it. Well, that's cool. So that's the bottom. Giant socket down there. Oh, it doesn't replace the M68K. There's another one. Wow. Look, and the pins for the socket are soldered over the top of the pins of the original M68K. Wow. Sorry, I'm getting excited, but that is weird. That is just weird. So I guess these are a shot of the stock board. That is just bizarre. So it looks like this is all your RAM up here. A whole bunch of TMS 4256s. Got your keyboard connector here. This is the front over here. Apple computer. The 512K and the 128K, I guess in later revisions shared a board, so I guess they just not install some of the RAM, something like that. Macintosh logo. 7905. It's nice how they actually like label all the things. So this is an LM311, and it says LM311 on the silk screen. How convenient. So that would be your headphone, mouse, blah blah blah. Down there, those two AMD devices. This one is an EIA 422 bus driver, because of course these things didn't have RS-232. They had 422, which is faster and has a separate clock and various cool things. And all this is a couple, let's see, what were they? Oh yeah, line drivers, differential or single line drivers. And these two are Apple branded ROMs, low and high. That is a Zilog serial communication controller. So I guess this thing would control all the buses on here. And this thing, all I could find out about it is that it's a VGA resolution USB 2.0 web camera sensor. Seriously. VL6522. And there you go. So I guess this thing has USB 2.0. It was definitely ahead of its time. Here's the main clock source, 15.6672 megahertz. I guess that is divided down to become 8 megahertz for that Frankenstein thing. That is so bizarre. And it looks like we've got more of these weird surface mount capacitors mounted inside glass containers. If you watched a previous one of my videos where I tore down some more vintage hardware, you'll remember that I made a comment about these. I guess they were pretty common. On the back, it's nothing very interesting, except for one little hack here. They've taken a Dremel or something, Dremeled out that trace, and put in a wire. Alright, well, forget the boring motherboard over here. Let's look at this thing. I'm still fascinated. So it looks like these two SIMs on top here are actually branded Apple computer. They're 256K. So it looks like there's 1 meg per side. So maybe this thing has a full 2 megs of RAM. Maybe in addition to what it has on here, but I don't think so. So this thing has hybrid surface mount and through-hole construction. There's labels on these chips, but I cannot read what it says. Yeah, I can't read what it says. They're faded. And then there's this chip here, which is Calmos branded. I have no idea what that does. I guess it's, you know, controls the entire hack, really, is what this is. Because, I mean, if you're soldering onto your main CPU to install an add-on, that is a hack. So I guess this thing is a dual-core machine. Maybe that CPU down there is disabled and it uses this one? I don't know. But it seems pretty well constructed. There's no hacks or anything down here. So, well, we'll have to check out the power supply and see if we can't get this thing booting reliably. And then we've got to clean the floppy drive. Oh man. What the heck? Who thought of this? This is ridiculous. Alright. Alright, this looks to be a bit more modern construction. You've got these quad flat packs here, a couple SOs, got your motor there. Pretty simple stuff. Let's take this cover off. Here's the top side. Looks like it was made by Sony. Actually, taking a closer look, this is an MPF51W, which I believe means this is an 800K drive. So it looks like someone went all out in upgrading this Mac. Awesome. So now I don't have to choose between an OS and applications. Cool. Alright, so here's the drive. Looking at it, the grease is really sticky. But the mechanism seems to still work. If I push this, thing goes down, and I can push this to reset it. But it feels really sticky. This is barely going down on its own. So I think I'm gonna go hit the shop downstairs and yeah, look how sticky that is. Look, that's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to go right down. So yeah, I'm gonna hit the shop, grab some good quality grease, and try to clean this thing up. I won't take it apart too much. I don't want to mess up the calibration or anything. I'm not 100% familiar with how these things work.
Uh-oh.
Alright, it's time to do our voltage calibration. This power supply, for whatever reason, can be adjusted. So I'm going to go and check the voltages. I'm going to do a course check now with the voltmeter. And then I'm going to bust out the oscilloscope up there and actually see whether we're getting clean power or not. So let's try this out. The appropriate procedure is to check these ports down here. This is the external floppy drive port. 12.7. Alright. 4.92. Okay. 12.32. Alright. This is the minus 12 rail. Looks really good. Peak to peak, it's only, well, 0.15 volts. Alright, let's check out the plus 12. Well, the plus 12 is really darn clean. It's only 25 millivolts peak to peak. I can't even trigger on it stably, so that looks good. The plus 5 is likewise good. 0.1 volts. Well, since all the voltages seem in spec, shall we try to boot this thing up? First I'm going to try a blank floppy, just in case it decides to eat it. So, power on. Need alright. Uh-oh. Oh, no, there it goes. Alright. Are you hungry, Mac? No, didn't like it. That's a good sign, actually. My precious system disk. Alright, don't fail me. Happy Mac! Oh, yes. This makes me happy. Welcome to Macintosh. Oh, yeah. Look at that. We're special. I've got Kermit, so I can hopefully transfer more software to this thing over a slightly more accessible protocol, such as EIS 422. I've got MacWrite just for kicks. I've got BinHex 5.0 so I can unpack things from Kermit. And I'm sure I've forgotten something, but we'll see how this goes. But yes, thanks for watching, and in my next video I will be building a mouse for this thing. So let's hope I don't explode anything. Should be interesting.